Caribbean has two personalities. When the sun shines, the music plays. But storms are frequent, the atmosphere can quickly change. In 2007, the defending champions were greeted by headlines of a team in decline, and the mood darkened.
And I remember the first press conference we had there, that I got asked the same question by 3 or 4 different journalists, and the only way I answered it, I looked at him, I said, well, you asked me that question in 5 or 6 weeks' time and see what sort of answer you get. And I just knew that our group would come together well and that we would play well in those conditions. South
Africa, again, felt the full force of their indignation.
They are attacking Shaun Pollock. They're definitely going to attack Shaun Pollock.
We're talking about Pollock and how we had to respect him because he was their main bowler and all that. And we got maybe 1 minute into talking about how we're going to play their attack, and remember Hayden and Gilchrist had already got together before the batting meeting, and they stopped us and said, hang on, don't worry about Pollock, we'll take care of him.
It's gone again. And it's gone again.
India, unthinkably, failed to make it past the group stage, but then neither did Pakistan. What India did have was the sight of a 20-stone policeman from Bermuda in full flight.
And taken, what a catch! That's a stunning catch!
Who will ever forget Dwayne Leverock?
Sensational catch, he's celebrating.
There was an even more memorable moment for Ireland in their first World Cup, beating Pakistan and qualifying for the new Super 8 stage.
Changed everything about Irish cricket. I think that the position we were in, we needed that. We needed those results and to kind of put ourselves on the map. And I think we did that then, and that was really what's catapulted us to where we are now at the minute. And we're getting more and more support back home and more on the grassroots level, which is what we need if we're going to sustain to where we're at now. So no, it's done everything for Irish cricket.
Within just a few hours, that result seemed utterly irrelevant, as Bob Woolmer's death brought the tournament to its knees. The Pakistan coach, much admired and well liked, remains a sad loss to the game. The 18th of March 2007 produced the most unwelcome, tragic news.
It was the hardest time, especially that 2 days we are in the neutral island or something like that. We are stuck there for two days, and we are very scared about that, because our coaches, we lose our coach, we lose our favorite coach, and then everybody think about that we are involved in these. So it was very, very horrible time, especially for me.
The first Super 8 match saw a true World Cup legend, a stadium bearing his name, and a display of awesome power from Matthew Hayden, worthy of the great man.
That is big. That's the best of them. That's massive. That's Rose back.
Try to taper my training around bowling when those guys are finishing the nets.
158 big runs from Hayden, the Australians with that air of invincibility again.
What we have been able to do in World Cups is build it from a low platform at the start of a World Cup and build and make sure at the end of a World Cup that we're actually playing the best cricket that we possibly can. And if you look at our last 4 campaigns, they've all been very much that way.
From their World Cup success in 1996, the Sri Lankans had gone on to establish themselves as amongst the favourites for just about every tournament since. The Caribbean pitches suited their game, and the semi-final against New Zealand was another demonstration of their qualities.
Tom Moody and Trevor Penny with that management is very good combination. Tom always give confidence to the opening batsman. So we were enjoying our cricket.
A century from Mahela Jayawardena and 4 wickets from Muttiah Muralitharan saw the Sri Lankans reach their second World Cup final.
Catch it. He has caught it. Chamara Silva coming across from short fine leg. Muralitharan is on song here.
South Africa had come through a pressure game against England to reach another semi-final. But awareness of Australian strengths seemed to confuse their mental approach.
Back, they were definitely the best team in the tournament, and maybe we felt that we needed to play, out of our skin to beat them, and maybe that's where we lost our way a bit.
After bowling out South Africa for just 149, Michael Clarke and Andrew Symonds brought Australia home for the most comfortable of victories and continued a 100% winning record. If there was a weakness, it was well hit. Barbados would be the venue for a final which brought together two old foes. Australia had been beaten by Sri Lanka back in 1996, but this had been the most impressive Australian campaign in memory. And they had a captain who could become their first to lift the trophy twice. History in the making. The Hayden-Gilchrist axis had long been their trump card, yet Gilchrist had been unusually quiet, until now. A highest for any batsman in a World Cup final.
Gilchrist going large. That is a magnificent stroke. It's his third big six of the innings.
It was brilliant inning. From the first ball, he's hitting from the middle of the bat. So I felt something, okay, he's going to get something big. But he was totally a failure for the whole tournament. He's somewhere there to get some runs on the board, which he did in the finals against us, unfortunately. Myself and Kumar Sangakkara had it for a longer period, almost 100 runs. It was very good, and unfortunately the weather held it up.
Jayasuriya had played in that 96 final and his talents remained undiminished. But bad weather meant the match would end in almost complete darkness.
It was very bizarre, I must admit. The positive that I always keep coming back to out of it was it actually gave us the chance to celebrate twice, because we celebrated once when we thought the game was over, and then we went back out and started again and bowled one more over and then got to celebrate again. So it wasn't, for us, it was, we didn't care too much about how it ended. It was about how we played right the way through and how good once again we were in the final. So we've obviously got some great memories over the years from World Cups.